Hi, my name's Kev. Welcome to this channel, and hopefully I'm going to be taking you on a journey as I complete the Tour de France in 2025. So, just as a slight hitch at the moment is that you can't sign up until July 2024 for the actual event that I'm going to be taking part in. So, my intention is to be signing up straight away, but it's sells out pretty quick now, it seems to be, going by this year. So I'll be ready to get signed up early and get in and hopefully take part in the tour. So why am I doing it? Well, like many people that are interested in the Tour de France, grew up watching it in the 80s, Gary Imlach, etc. on Channel 4, and fascinated by it, and wasn't even cycling at the time. It was just playing rugby, and I did some cycling and moved into triathlon as well once I stopped playing rugby. And doing the Tour de France was always one of these dreams that I had, and it was one of these things that you kind of think will always remain a dream and will never happen. But then last year or 2 years ago, a friend got in touch with me and said he'd signed up and he was doing the Tour de France and he wanted coached. So that was a bit of a surprise because he wasn't a cyclist. And so I agreed to coach him, and though there was a bit of a slight worry at the time doing it, I had to say to him, I'm a triathlon, I can coach an endurance event, but obviously I've never coached anyone through the Tour de France. So this could be a learning curve for both of us. But he was okay with that. And so we proceeded to do that. And he really enjoyed it, got on well, got through the Tour de France, and I'll try and do an interview with Ross, the guy that did it, at some point, and I'll put it on the channel to give his thoughts on doing it. And so I was watching him every day via Training Peaks or Strava or whatever it may be, as he did these tour stages, and looking at it with envy, going, why didn't I decide to do that? So he got finished, he made it to Paris, and I was pretty much committed that I wanted to do it. But I wasn't going to get it done in time for 2024. Well, actually, I'd missed the sign up already anyway to do 2024. So 2025 would be the earliest I could do it. So decided it was time to commit before I got much older. I'll be 55 when I do this, so hopefully still very healthy. But really wanted to get it done and experience that and take part in it. So 2 years to go, really, or a year and a half to go. I'll take you through that progress and how it's going to go. And I've got some other goals on the way. So 2024, I'll be I'm doing Strade Bianche in March. I've got a half distance 70.3 race in the end of June, the Northumbrian in the UK, which I have to admit I only signed up for because I marshalled for my wife taking part last year and they gave me a 50% discount. I didn't think I'd do another 70.3. I much prefer doing sprints myself, but there we go, 50% off, why not? And actually, I have to admit, having marshalled the race, it was a really nice race, sort of friendly, almost old school triathlon type, really good event to be part of. And even from a marshalling point, I really enjoyed the day, which was really why I signed up rather than the 50% discount, having seen it. And also as I said, I've done sprint triathlons, and only what I've done, and I've competed at GB age group. For those, I'm certainly nowhere near the front end of the pack, but enjoy doing it and enjoy competitive racing still. But my 5K, I trained for my first Ironman before COVID came, and etc., and many excuses, but never really got that 5K speed back again. So that's another goal for me through 2024. I want to get my 5K down into sort of 20 minutes area. I'm about 22 and a half at the moment. So I can get that back down to something in the 20s, and at least I can be semi-competitive at sprint races again, whereas at the moment, too slow, unfortunately. So plan for 2024 really at the moment is initially focus on the swimming and combine that with the biking. I've increased my swim volume just recently, and I'll drop the run-in slightly for now. And then once I get the swimming back, get the technique back to where I want to be, then I can drop that. I'll drop the swimming back, and I think I'll be able to do enough, because I think if I get the technique right, I'll be able to do enough on sort of 3 sessions a week just to hold where I'll get to at that point. Then I'll transition over to the running, start bringing the run speed up, and then also bringing the run distance up to be able to do a 70.3 in June. And I kind of figure with all the biking training, getting fit for Strade Bianche, then it's a matter of just holding that volume through and continuing to develop that. I'd like to get some really good solid back-to-back 100-mile rides, hilly rides in through this summer, just as a really good base on the biking, and do some sort of bit more power work at the moment through the winter, bring that up a wee bit because that's dropped off as well because I spend so much time coaching that my own training's all fallen apart. And then I'm going to just look for, once we move into 2025, then obviously the bigger focus will be on the biking only really, and just trying to keep the run and swim ticking over, hopefully get them to a place where I can just hold where they're at and really dedicate 25 through to biking until the Tour de France. And then I'm not quite sure yet on what to do moving into the end of 2025. We'll see how where the sprints end up and what I decide to do with age group qualifiers. But in the back of my mind also, when I did my one and only Ironman, it was the due to the weather, they cancelled the bike on the day, so we came out the swim. They cancelled the bike course, gave us a couple of hours, and then we ran the marathon. So I trained for a year to do an Ironman, but ultimately I still actually haven't completed a whole one because I missed the bike out. So I do wonder, with a huge bike volume through the summer, whether that would be a good time at the end of this year, or the end of 2025 rather, have the bike legs. So that would be in a good place to be to potentially just drop an Ironman in at the end of 2025. But that's a long way off. That's thoughts for another day. But I'll take you through my training as we go through, and then hopefully once we get there, through what it's going to be like to ride the Tour de France, and do that for 21 days in the summer of 2025. Fingers crossed I get in, because looking forward to it already.